Start viewing everything through the lens of power. In order to free yourself from misery, helplessness, and powerlessness over people, you must be able to play the game of power through these 48 laws. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Always make those above you feel superior. You must always make your master feel brilliant. Therefore, in your desire to please your master, do not go too far displaying your talents in front of them. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Always be vigilant, especially in front of your friends, because they tend to betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy and jealousy. You cannot change them to avoid jealousy. It's a law of human nature. Go furthermore to hire a former enemy. If not, find a way to create an enemy. Your enemy will be more loyal than your friends, because he has more to prove. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. You must conceal your intentions at all costs. Don't be an open book. Keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. If they have no clue what you are up to, they cannot prepare a defense. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. When you are trying to impress people with words, the more you say, the more common you appear, and the less in control. Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less. The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish. Remember, silence is golden. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. You must work to begin a reputation of outstanding quality, whether through acts of generosity, honesty, or cunning. Once established as a reputed person, you must be prepared for all possible attacks. Attacks are inevitable. Be alert and guard your reputation with your life. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. Everything is judged by its appearance. What are unseen counts for nothing. Make yourself appear larger, more interesting, and more mysterious than the crowd. Never let yourself get lost in the horde. No matter what, you must stand out. One way to do this is to surround your name with sensation and scandal. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. You should never do for yourself what other people's efforts can do for you. Using leverage and taking credit in this selfish world is an important act. Use the wisdom, knowledge, and legwork of other people to further your own cause. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. It's always better to make your opponent come to you, lure them in, and then attack. This prevents you from ever reacting to your opponents. Instead, they have to react to you. You hold the cards, play the long-term game, sit back, and always stay calm, as they will eventually get stuck in the traps you've carefully chosen for them. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Arguing in pointless battles may give you short-lived victories, but in reality it is more defeat. Arguing makes people resent you, dislike you, defensive, and eventually attack you in the future. Always demonstrate your ideas indirectly and calmly, drawing them into you through your actions. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. You must stop spending your precious time with people who are always in misery, who don't want anything in life, who have always excuses. Miserable emotional states are highly contagious. Never take pity or try to save them. You may die from someone else's misery. Constantly associate with the happy and fortunate instead. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. To maintain your independence, you must always be needed and wanted. The more you are relied on, the more freedom you have. Make people depend on you for their happiness and prosperity, and you have nothing to fear. Never teach them enough so that they can do without you. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. Use upfront honesty, kindness, generosity, and favours to build trust and rapport. This works especially well with those who expect to be mistreated or misled. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. You must train yourself to see inside others' needs, interests, and desires. People are selfish. They tend to forget your past good deeds. When your ally sees that there is something in return while helping you, they are more likely to respond with passion. Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Knowing about your rival is crucial. Use spies to gather valuable information that will keep you a step ahead. Better still, play the spy yourself. In polite social encounters, learn to probe. Ask indirect questions to get people to reveal their weaknesses and intentions. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. To crush your enemy partly means giving them time to recover and revenge. Ultimately, you can only gain peace and serenity when your foe ceases to exist. If you manage to remove all of your opponent's options, then they will have no choice but to bend to your will. By giving them nothing to negotiate with and no room to maneuver, you will have them crushed totally. Crush him, not only in body, but in spirit. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honour. The more you are seen and heard from, the more common you appear. If you are already established in a group, temporary withdrawal from it will make you more talked about, even more admired. You must learn when to leave. Gold is scarce and will always remain valuable. Create your value like gold, through scarcity. Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Humans are creatures of habit who look for familiar patterns in the behaviours of others. By acting predictably, your opponents get a sense of control. Turn the tables. Be deliberately unpredictable. This will keep them off balance, and they will wear themselves out trying to explain your moves. Taken to an extreme, this strategy can intimidate and terrorize. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. To become powerful, you must place yourself at the center of things. Activities must revolve around you. Instead, if you build a fortress and isolate yourself, you will be missing valuable information, which in result makes you an easy target. Always socialize among people, find allies, and mingle. You are shielded from your enemies by the crowd. Law 19. Know who you are dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. You must choose your victims and opponents carefully and never offend the wrong person. Take a time to understand those around. Do not be impulsive. Never trust your instincts to deceive the person. Instead, gather and make use of concrete data. Additionally, never trust people's appearances especially those in public. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. It is the fool who always rushes to take sides. Do not commit to any side or cause but yourself. By maintaining your independence, you become the master of others, playing people against one another, making them pursue you. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. No one likes feeling stupider than the next person. The trick then is to make your victims feel smart, and not just smart, but smarter than you are. Once convinced of this, they will never suspect that you may have ulterior motives. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. Weak people never give away when they ought to. When you are weaker, never fight for honour's sake. Choose to surrender instead, because no one will come to your aid while you're weak, and you become nothing but a martyr. Instead, make a superficial surrender a tool of power. Surrender gives you time to recover, time to torment and irritate your conqueror, time to wait for his power to wane. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Conserve your forces and energies by keeping them concentrated at their strongest point. Focus on one goal until you attain it. Serve one single patron or master. Concentrate power on just a few decision-makers. Focus all your force on the enemy's weakest spot. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. Follow the laws of court politics. Make your results look effortless. Be frugal with flattery. Too much of a good thing devalues it. Be polite. Nothing good comes of rudeness. Much comes of understated gallantry. Make sure you are seen. Do not hide in corners. Adapt your style and language to your audience. Know who you are talking to. Be self-observant. Learn to see and adapt your behavior objectively. Master your face. Hide real emotions. Master laughing and crying on demand. Fit the spirit of the times. Stay physically and mentally in the now. Be a source of pleasure. Let your master take credit for your talents. Don't upset your peers. Be someone others like being around. Law 25. Recreate yourself. Do not accept the role that society has given you. Forge your own identity, one that commands attention. Master your image rather than letting others dictate it for you. Remake yourself into a figure of power, as if moulding yourself from clay. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. You must seem a paragon of civility and efficiency. Your hands are never soiled by mistakes and nasty deeds. Maintain such a spotless appearance by using others as scapegoats and cat's paws to disguise your involvement. Law 27. Play on people's need to create a cult-like following. People have an overwhelming desire to believe in something. By inventing yourself as this cult-like figure, they will follow you and give you untold amounts of power. To become such a figure, you must follow these steps. Keep your words vague and simple, but full of promises. Emphasize enthusiasm rather than the intellectual and rational. Structure your group by the forms of organized religion. Disguise your sources of income. Create an us versus them dynamic. Law 28. Enter action with boldness. You need to cultivate boldness and commit yourself fully to your actions. Boldness demonstrates and inspires confidence. It draws attention, and attention therefore creates power. Boldness strikes fear. Fear creates authority. The bolder a lie, the more convincing it becomes. Remember, everyone admires the bold. No one honours the timid. Do not be timid. Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. The ending is everything. Plan all the way to the end. It is the end of the action that determines who gets the glory. Your conclusion must be crystal clear and constantly remind your end goals. Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. Your actions must seem natural and executed with ease. You must avoid the temptation of revealing how hard you work. It only raises questions. Teach no one your tricks, or they will be used against you. Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. The best deceptions are the ones that seem to give the other person a choice. Your victims feel they are in control, but are actually your puppets. Colour the choices. Make one choice sound obvious. Force the resistor. Push them to choose what you want them to do by appearing to advocate the opposite. Alter the playing field. Undermine the options you want off the table. Move the options. Reduce rewards or increase prices with each repetition. Create urgency. Make the cost of inaction look higher and increasingly urgent. The horns of dilemma. Make both choices damaging and let them wriggle. Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. The truth is often avoided because it is ugly and unpleasant. Never appeal to truth and reality unless you are prepared for the anger that comes from disenchantment. Instead, appeal to romance and fantasy. They are like oases in the desert. Everyone flocks to them. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. That weakness is usually an insecurity, an uncontrollable emotion or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. Turn their weakness to your advantage. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. The way you carry yourself will often determine how you are treated. In the long run, appearing vulgar or common will make people disrespect you. For a king respects himself and inspires the same sentiment in others. By acting regally and confident of your powers, you make yourself seem destined to wear a crown. Law 35. Master the art of timing. Never seem to be in a hurry. Hurrying betrays a lack of control over yourself and over time. Always seem patient, as if you know that everything will come to you eventually. Be wary. Learn to stand back when the time is not yet ripe, and to strike fiercely when it has reached fruition. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. Do not pay attention to enemies or mistakes that can't harm you. It's your reaction that makes them a big deal. It is sometimes best to leave things alone. The less interest you reveal, the more superior you seem. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. Striking imagery and grand symbolic gestures create the aura of power. Everyone responds to them. Bring everything together in a grand stage, distracting spectacles for those around you. Make use of the art of deception. Dazzled by appearances, no one will notice what you are really doing. Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. Keep your differences in your thoughts and not in your fleece. Blend in your circle, groups or society and nurture the common touch. Limit uncensored expression only to your tolerant friends and followers who appreciate your beliefs. Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. In midst of chaos you must stay calm and objective. Make your enemies angry and emotional. Throw them off balance. This will make you gain possible advantages over them. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. What is offered for free is dangerous. It usually involves either a trick or a hidden obligation. What has worth is worth paying for. By paying your own way you stay clear of gratitude, guilt, and deceit. It is also often wise to pay the full price. There are no cutting corners with excellence. Be lavish with your money and keep it circulating, for generosity is a sign and a magnet for power. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Never let yourself be seen as following your predecessor's path. Don't get lost in the shadows of those that came before you. You must establish your own name and identity by not following the same course as your predecessors. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. In every group, power is concentrated in the hands of one or two people. When troubles arise, find the source and isolate them. Physically, politically, or psychologically. Sabotage or separate them from their power base. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Start softening people and break them down gently. Seducing people around you and moving them in your direction is a survival skill. Work on their emotions and see them becoming your loyal pawn. Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. The mirror reflects reality, but it is also the perfect tool for deception. When you mirror your enemies, doing exactly as they do, they cannot figure out your strategy. You will also humiliate them and cause them to overreact. This is powerful, and only a few can survive the power of the mirror effect. Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Everyone understands the need for change in the abstract, but on the day-to-day level, people are creatures of habit. Too much innovation is shocking and will lead to the insurgency. If you are new to a position of power, or an outsider trying to build a power base, make a show of respecting the old way of doing things. If change is necessary, make it feel like a gentle improvement in the past. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Just remember that only gods and the dead can seem perfect with impunity. Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. The moment of victory is often the moment of greatest peril. In the heat of victory, arrogance and overconfidence can push you past the goal you had aimed for, and by going too far, you make more enemies than you defeat. Do not allow success to go to your head. There is no substitute for strategy and careful planning. Set a goal, and when you reach it, stop. Law 48. Assume formlessness. By taking a shape, by having a visible plan, you open yourself to attack. Instead of taking a form for your enemy to grasp, keep yourself adaptable and on the move. Accept the fact that nothing is certain and no law is fixed. The best way to protect yourself is to be as fluid and formless as water. Never bet on stability or lasting order. Everything changes. We really love bringing you these videos. If you want to help us create more useful content, please do subscribe to this channel and don't forget to ring the bell for brand new videos.